So I want to introduce to you Free Egunfeme. She's an independent historical strategist and the founder of Untold RVA, the people's choice for creative advancement of Richmond's most powerful resistance narratives hidden in plain sight throughout the commemorative landscape. Free's conspiracy of good people includes relentless guerrillas in public media, street art, academia, youth empowerment, political activism, spiritual elevation, and community design using ancestral self-determination to disrupt racist legacies of oppression. She's a social innovator in residence at 6 Points Innovation Center over on the north side. You should go visit her. She loves to talk. We had a great visit in January talking about all the goals that she had. Today she's going to announce a great result of a goal she's been working on for a long time. She's the founder for Richmond's Outpost for the United States Department of Arts and Culture. Free's groundbreaking projects are leading the front lines of what she has entitled the Commemorative Justice Movement. So we're going to switch out some slides, but Free, I would love to have you come to the stage.
I'm going to teach you guys this little secret thing that I know. It's when you want to say, pay attention, I'm about to speak, and then the person has to say, oh, I hear you, I'm listening. So it starts out like this. You say, when you, who just said that? Oh, I didn't even get it. What's going on? Okay, all right, go ahead and tell them. Okay, I go. Okay, I go. Okay, that means I'm speaking now. And then you're saying, oh, Free, I hear you. I'm listening. You got it? I go. Now you see how you guys are part of that secret society that we already have? Like, blow somebody's mind sometime soon. When you're around all these cultural folks and somebody says, I go, you should be that person. It's like, I may be the first one to say it. Like, whoa. Thank you. Yes, thank you. So I'm Free. Egunfeme. Peace and blessings to everybody in the room. Today is a huge day. It's the biggest day, I think, of Untold RVA, which I launched 5 years ago at Feast RVA. Who knows Feast? Yes, I am in the fifth year of my 5-year plan, my first 5-year plan, because normally it just kind of happened, right? And so today is a huge, huge day. Oh my gosh, today is a huge day. The reason why today is a huge day is because I built this conspiracy of good people. I want to tell you what that means. I love how I sound on this mic. All right, let me make sure that am I not clicking properly? What am I pointing to? Hi. I feel like I'm clicking. Well, while we do that, is she not dressed fabulously today? Ah, there it is. Thank you, darling. Okay. So the thing about it is that I really want to start this out by saying you honestly can be whoever you want to be, especially if it's a good thing that you want to do with your life. Please know that everything I'm about to say is based on self-determination. Self-determination is basically you being who you envision in your mind and taking time to curate that reality for yourself. So we're going to talk about my community is a conspiracy of good people. So I got this quote from Charles Kuralt. Do you guys remember Charles Kuralt from Study Mornings and stuff? So he was speaking to a group of folks that were just graduating, and he said, I have become faintly aware that there is in this state and in this nation and in this world an association of men and women who, while they may not even know each other, might still be called a conspiracy of good people. We are a conspiracy of good people. First of all, we conspired to get up at the back end of the morning to be here together. And to me, that shows intention. And I'm grateful for each one of you coming out. Hi, sis. Talking to you? Yeah, there you go. That's my girl. So Untold REA, as she said, is the people's choice for the creative advancement of the most powerful self-determination narratives that are hidden in plain sight. I built Untold REA by starting in 2013, December, hearing about Feast REA, which is a community and an ecosystem in and of itself. I met Josh Epperson. He was like, yo, Bill Martin introduced me to Josh Epperson, took us to Garnett's one morning. It was like, y'all need to know each other. It's like our fairy godfather, right? And so, do you know Bill from the Valentine? Fairy godfather, Bill? Yes. So, yes. So he says, oh, y'all need to know each other. And we sat and talked and understood that we have similar crazy, all three of us. And then that January, I applied for Feast, and they had a number of applicants. One was Theater Lab, which is doing fabulous things for our city. The other one was Art on Wheels, and then it was Untold. And Untold didn't even have an identity really yet, because I founded it in December, and here it is January. And so almost unanimously, I won. Because I had an awesome slide deck, so I was in the right room, right? That was probably one of the main reasons, because I really love a slide deck. And so, that's when Untold was born. And so, Untold REA creatively disrupts continued efforts to deliberately submerge Richmond's historical resistance narratives. That means basically that I saw this area in our city where there were people that were just like us that lived a long time ago, and these are the type of folks that would have been deliberately submerged, like no one wanted to tell the story. I honestly believe there were rooms like this in the 1800s, 1700s, early 1900s. I know there were, and they just don't tell those rooms. Do you guys ever hear about Elizabeth Scott Bocock? Does anyone know about her? She wrote this book. Well, there's a book about her. It's called Never Ask Permission, which kind of goes along with the adage, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. Live by that, trust me as a guerrilla street artist. Oh, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to put this wheat paste right there, sorry. Okay, well, do you want me to help you take it off? Nah, free, just leave it. That's never asking permission. Like I said, when you see yourself doing a good thing, that's what makes us be a conspiracy of good people. You might know, your mind, your brain, your solutions, your inspirations are going to be, as a creative person, ahead of the status quo curve. And so feel secure in that. You're in a room of people that operate on the same frequency. So it's all good. Let this be your validation. ¿Qué pasó? I don't know. Okay, so I don't know what slide is next, but I will say that
Google Slides is not a supporter of ours.
yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, there's the home space. Okay, that's the lab. Remember when she said, please come and see me? That is the Untold Portal Laboratory. And so you can kind of notice Ashley in Studio 2-3 and her energy on the back wall. You see the map. And I love color. I love color stories. It makes me happy to see people dressed. Where's Mecca? That's our style maven right there for the city. No one does a pattern and a print like Mecca. So I try to, in similar fashion, bring our city a place where kids can come in and because this is in 6 Points Innovation Center, which is for the youth of Highland Park. And as the social innovator in residence there, my goal is to be able to allow them to see what it's like to be in a space that's conducive to creativity and design. And then to learn how to monetize that as well. So this is one of the ways that these deliberate interruptions work. So at first I was building these portals. You might see one of them if you go to the canal in Manchester. It's at the Southern States where all of the murals were. It came out in the Street Art Festival. And I have this portal there. It says the 1111 Portal Project. And basically, you should go there any time of the day, but if you specifically go there at 11:11, you can make a wish. You can spin your hand along these wheels, and you can allow your dreams to come forward at the water's edge of Richmond. You will probably see someone there that's doing the same thing. And it's interesting the relationships that have been formed. I had the idea to do this because I felt like we, people that are believing in the energy to manifest our vision, those of us that another quote of mine, probably someone else surely said it before me. As a matter of fact, my great-grandparents, they had a thing that in their belief system as me as a fourth-generation spiritualist, part of the axioms of that spiritual system was this quote that said, to think of a thought is the prophecy of its fulfillment. To truncate that into 3 words, the pillow that's on my couch, you might not, yes, I might have a picture of it, but it says, thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. So, hold it in your brain, tell some people around you. This is what they did like in 1920 when they founded the spiritualist temple that my great-grandparents were a part of. They would get all together and they would hold a vision of, everyone would pretty much in the room basically take turns and say, okay, this is what I want to manifest. And everybody would close their eyes, all of them wearing white, and they would light the candles and they would visualize it coming to pass. I know that my great-grandmother visualized me, and here I am. So I know that this happened. And this is something that I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. I know it. I am living something that someone else saw happen before it happened. And so are you. So you might have complete jerks in your bloodline, but trust me, there's somebody who was not a jerk. And they were thinking about you, and they wanted you in this room today, and here you are. Thoughts become things. So, I'm telling you, listen, everybody doesn't have a perfect, pristine bloodline, but there's gotta be someone, and those people who were the non-jerks in our bloodlines are the ones that we're holding space for today. That is the conspiracy of good people. And if you have to go back 4 generations, 5 generations, 6 generations, the known and unknown honored ancestors upon whose shoulders we stand, you are connected to those people. They might not speak English. They might have been from another side of the world. The point being is that they existed, and I'm here to elevate their stories, even if you don't know them by name, even if they happen to be someone that you don't have any blood relation to, but you connected to their narrative through some history or bibliography, biography that you read. These are your peoples. Please know you have to elevate that, because there's this other thing that I say often, another elder spoke of, and it connected to me, and I'd like to share it with you. It's also in a West African language, the Bantu Congo language. It's easy to remember. You can use it. You ain't got to be Bantu Congo. It's okay, because I speak English and it ain't no problem. So y'all can speak Bantu Congo. It's all good. Simba, Simbi. Try it. That means hold up that which holds you up. Community. Simba, Simbi. Hold up that which holds you up. Yes. That means that if there's something that has happened in the past that is giving you inspiration, promote it. Make sure everyone knows about it. That makes you able to reclaim historical narratives, but it also allows you to have a connection to the past so that you don't have to feel like whatever you're working on, you're in that silo. Who feels siloed most of the time? Is it just a few of us, or do we pretty much all agree that the silo is real, right? But if you think about it, there are people who were feeling siloed, you know, in 1713 and all the other years that people felt the same. But that is your bloodline. You're not your physical bloodline, but the energy bloodline, the frequency that you exist on. Frequency and vibrations, that's my belief system. That's God to me. So here's these things. You got the number 277-8116. You'll see them all over the city. I put them up so that you can learn free Richmond history. These are on the corner of the Maggie Walker Monument. Why? I'm sorry. I'm very grateful. Imagine if I had to do all of these things, but I don't. That's community again. So here, these are some of the installations. When people take a tour with Untold Tours, Untold RVA, they put these up themselves, and then they record their voices, and they send it to me, and then they upload them, and you have people all over the city that are narrating. There's 130 of them right now in the city, and there's about to be about 50 more going up in the next 2 weeks in the north side, in an area that you heard it first, dun, 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 is the Black Monument Avenue. Boom, mic drop. I'm telling you, it's global. The stories that are coming out nationally about what we are doing in Richmond. I haven't said this publicly yet. I decided to wait until today because this is my creative community, right? So please know this is our thing. So yeah, that's the Maggie Walker Memorial. If you didn't know, it's at the corner of Adams and Broad, and for 6 light poles on a 2-block radius from the corner of Adams and Broad to 2nd and Broad. I saw that when they unveiled her $1 million monument that took 20 years to open up, that there were these things in the bottom that they carved that it doesn't really tell you why she's being commemorated, for mother, teacher, publisher, civil rights leader, businesswoman, entrepreneur. All 6 of those things are carved in the bottom, but we don't know what does that really mean. So this is a low-cost, high-visibility way to expand on that narrative using the strength and the energy of community, of our conspiracy of good people. Oopsie. There is, okay, please take a picture of that because I want you to kind of hear how you do that. 277-8116, 30 pound. Press it after you start hearing it. And then also, what's cool about that is that once you're in the system, you can just call. So this was like one of those things that the ancestors kind of told me to do. I was walking past something in a museum and I was like, dang, I bet you can use that technology to be able to bring audio captures right into the built environment for people to expand and hear about stuff that they don't know. So these are the Ancestor Altar portal participants, inclusions. All of these people are from Richmond. They did amazing things. People on the top are black. The people on the bottom are white allies. You see Mary Wingfield Scott, Elizabeth Scott Bocock, the women from the suffragettes movement. The first bread riots are up there. Robert Pleasance, Elizabeth Van Loo. These are all the white ladies and the white men that I actually have super duper respect for. They're on my ancestor altar. I'm telling you, this is about who you connect with. That's your community. That's my community of dead folks. You can borrow them because they really, really love helping. Trust me. Self-determination, what is it? Boom. First of all, red, black, and green. What are those colors? Mecca, please display your nails. Give them a little twirl. Red, black, and green. Red is the color of the blood in your body, so it represents our bloodlines. Black is the black girl magic, black excellence, black boy joy, black power. And green, it's like the strength of where you come from. For you, it might be a different color. For me, it's black. And so for green, green represents the progeny, the next generation, the people that we have to have strong shoulders for because they'll be standing on ours one day. So self-determination, this is also something you can call and listen to. These are in the community in the shape of like where a brick would be, just boop. What's that? And you call it. Self-determination is, what did you do that you were holding in your mind to do that came to fruition, regardless of what anyone else said you should or shouldn't be doing with your life. Intersectionality is who the people you should work with are. They might not look like you, but it's your sense of community. You create that. It doesn't have to be someone that's the likely low-hanging fruit of relationships. Definitely stretch and find your folks. And then resistance means, okay, so you know, like if you, say for instance, there's someone, they go to college and they didn't graduate and they were the first person in their family. Now, someone with a colonizer's mind, did y'all see Black Panther? Colonizer. Someone with a colonizer's mind that's looking to, you know, de-emphasize the people's victories would tell you, oh, you failed, you didn't graduate. But resistance narrative would say, that chick went to she's the first one to step foot in a university, and then give her the celebration and the energy to continue on. So it really is about how you look at things. That's a resistance narrative. This is the group of, we don't know their names. The Valentine holds this picture, but I always felt it was super strong because this is Black excellence in Bon Air, which was part of Richmond at the time. And it's just a lovely representation of our ancestors. So I show this to folks because I'm like, please don't think that just because I have on matching shoes and jacket and dress, we've been doing this. We haven't always had chains, and it goes back a lot further than that. That's just to kind of balance it. They're one generation out of enslavement, so you can get it together. Don't complain, just do. Kill it. Kill it, please kill it. Please kill the game. Yeah, because if they can, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, you know, privileged. So, self-determined commemorative justice. I coined this phrase. We didn't have any way to describe this historical stuff, so this is really important because this can be connected to what you are doing in your life as well. Self-determined commemorative justice means that it is a movement that is led by natural leaders. Tell me if this sounds in any way like you as I'm reading this. Led by natural leaders who commit ourselves to the work of dismantling the historic inequities threatening authentic social progress. Do you feel like you're working to dismantle something that is just toxic and you're like, this has to go before I die, I can't leave the world this way? Then that is the essence of commemorative justice. I love seeing your smile. Yes, thank you. Yes, yes, thank you. It just gave me life, so thank you. That's how you make friends though, because don't you know we're gonna be friends now? Because yes, commemorative justice is guided by self-determination. It hatches plans collaboratively, inspires future movements, supports frontline advocacy, and empowers, elevates, and amplifies. Please, if you don't write that down, ask someone to write it down for you or take a picture, because I really want to make sure that the people that need to see that commemorative justice inspires future movements, which means that it wouldn't have existed at the time when it came to you to do it. But I need you to be confident. I, in your community, am saying, trust me, just because no one knows about it yet, doesn't mean the world doesn't need it. The world needs it. So please draw from that and know we need you to bring forth your thoughts to become the things that will change this world. Find your lane and represent. Okay, now here's this to the people that are doing all the things, right? We don't need you to do all the things. I mean, do all the things within your lane. But like, pick a lane, because it's difficult to be friends with a person that you don't know what they're good at. Because as part of our conspiracy of good people, we need competent individuals. That's really what has driven me the most in terms of Untold REA, is that I said, okay, I want to be a historian. I set out to be the most competent, independent historian that we have in the city, so that when you guys need me, I'm ready. And it's like, free, you got a slide deck? Sure. You know, free, can you do this talk? Absolutely. And have it ready. So work on your stuff, you know, and keep your eyes on your own paper. Let people do stuff, you know. Don't be that person that plagiarizes. We're going to talk about that. Yes. The kids at the City of Richmond Summer Arts Institute were with me this summer for 2 weeks, and I taught them to write architecturally, because my handwriting is like a typeface, and I taught them that, and then I came back yesterday with them, and what was so beautiful about it is that one of the children that I was working with at the museum, the VMFA, mother came up to me today, and she gave me this envelope. And I said, I'm going to open it today. So this girl, I mean, she just gave it to me a couple minutes ago. So let's open it and see what it says. Untold REA to Miss Free from Isabella. And she even drew the Untold REA logo with the border. So she was taking the Emerging Museum Professionals class at the VMFA, and she's in that cohort, and she is brilliant, and her mama blessed me by giving me this letter, and I want to read it to all of you. Wow, look, wait, oh, look what I got. Dear Miss Free, it's really exciting to see that you are speaking at the Creative Mornings. I've been seeing some signs of your business, once at Six Pick and another time in the Events magazine at Libby Mill. I'm very glad that you are able to make these appearances. Also, what you're doing matters to so many African to so many African American communities and Richmond itself. Thank you for signing up to do this. I will pray for you with love, Isabella Thomas. No. I got caught out. These kids. So I'm very grateful that it's working. We're building community, and it's going to sustain itself, because it's not so siloed that the babies don't see us. They see us. Stay in your lane respectfully, though. And so this is about the intellectual property. Let me start laughing again, because this kid, boy. All right. So intellectual property. This is my definition. I try to make sure that I tag my slides, because that is one of the most important ways to get plagiarized, is that you don't attribute yourself. Don't be so humble that you don't put your name on your stuff. That's crazy. And then be mad because somebody's using your stuff. Did you protect your neck? No, so then okay. All right, innovative content that is the result of self-determined creativity, to which one has rights and for which one deserves both credit and compensation. that means you should be building a sustainable infrastructure for the things that you do. Why? Because you can't work without being compensated. This is not like, you have to make a viable path for yourself, because there are young people that are going to need to have that open door to walk through. They shouldn't have to struggle with a price point for design. We should already establish that for them. So when they grow up and they see us doing that, then they don't have to have people saying, "Can you make me a flyer? I've got $15. No, we have to make sustainable, yes, show that our intellectual property is valuable, yes. So also, I implore you to work smarter, not harder. How do you do that? Connect to a topic you can feel. That's the first thing. It's smart to be able to do what you love, right? So that's the first thing. Connect to a topic that you can feel. Feel, that means it's got to make your inside spin. Support community activism, meaning those are the people that are willing to put their heart in it as well. Be humble but knowledgeable. That means when you come around folks that are already doing this work, like I said, don't try to do all the things, stay in your lane, make sure that you're not in there just like running roughshod over everybody who's been doing this work because you just moved to Richmond and you think, no, we've been here, thank you. If you don't know what the black McDonald's on Broad Street, you probably think it's just the ICA and stuff. No, please. Or all those other things. I mean, there's just, have you ever been to Nancy Reagan? Did you ever eat at Grace Place? All these things, if you say no, then that means that you have to be humble, because we've been here doing this work, and it's important that you hold space for those who have put in the sweat equity to be asked first if they want to participate. Don't exclude those folks. And be efficient with your workload. Don't try to do all the things, and because when you do that and you fail people, they were counting on you. And then use your privilege to amplify. Your unique element is powerful and transformative. This is very true. That's why you have to find it, because that is your secret sauce that you'll bring into the collective and make your community and your conspiracy of good people to be as efficacious and viable as possible. We can and we will get it right. I kind of need you guys to say that, because that is the vision that I have, and I'm hoping that you all already know we won this. If there is some winning to have, we done won. We're on the team that wins, right? Yes, so let's say it together. We can, we will get it right. Yes. So, without further ado, let's talk about Gabriel Week. Do I have a couple minutes left? Okay. 8 total minutes. Yes? That's okay, yeah, so I'm gonna go through this real fast. I want you guys to take this picture because, I have never, ever in my long-legged life posted on Instagram on purpose. It's been 4 years since I had an Instagram, and I have been like, I'm not doing it, I'm just not doing it. I don't feel the vibe yet, I'm not doing it. People always repost stuff, it's like 600 people following me, and it says post 0. And to the chagrin of all of my friends, they're like, why do you not use Instagram? Like, it's too much, it's not time. So today I dropped my first Instagram post on Gabriel Week online because it's here. Dun dun dun. So please go to untoldrva.com and then you'll see a link, or you can just untoldrva.com/Gabriel Week, either one. So the real quick story about Gabriel is in 1776, a young black boy was born. He was enslaved right here in the Richmond area on Brook Road, and he was talking revolution and knew his purpose in life was to be able to bring forth freedom and to liberate black people from enslavement. Then the person who so-called owned him, human trafficked him, so I don't say master because that's just, come on now. So told him, you can't live here anymore, you're trying to stir up trouble, go to Shockoe Bottom, which was the most desolate place in the city. He went down there and began to apprentice as a blacksmith. The guy who he was apprenticing with was from Canada, and he spoke French, and he was telling him about the Haitian Revolution and Toussaint Louverture, who was able to actually break out of enslavement and win the battle against the colonialist empire that was enslaving all those black people in Haiti. And so he heard about it, and he was like, I'm 21 years old, I could probably do the same thing. This is Richmond, shoot, the home of give me liberty or give me death. Let's do it, boom, mic drop, right? He's done this, right? But he couldn't tell anybody. There was no Twitter, no Instagram, no let me get on the, you can't take out an ad because he's supposed to be quiet. So that was the conspiracy of good people back then. In 1800, they got it all together and had up to 50,000 people that they had gotten of all walks of life to take the governor hostage, get the whole stockpile of weapons in the governor's mansion, and to make sure that these people would be safe. Us. If you're white and this was now and I were Gabriel, y'all would be safe. Being in this room would make you safe. He was saying that he was not going to harm Methodists, Quakers, and poor white folks. That's probably like all of us, right? Like not the ones that are like the Bilderbergs of the world and the 1% and all of that. He was trying to protect those who had a vision for the future. And so his goal was to be able to do this, but there was a terrible rainstorm the night that they were going to revolt, and the bridge was washed out, and Gabriel and many of his co-defendants at the time, Gabriel fled. He hid for a while, and then they found him. Someone snitched, and he was hung on the city gallows at the African Ancestral Burial Ground. So I have a festival called Gabriel Week. This year is the very first year that it's being a week. August 30th, 1800 was the actual day of the planned insurrection. And so I'm using that to elevate the creative impact of innovators that can be inspired by this narrative to go off and do things that are revolutionary to change our Richmond for the better, standing on Gabriel's shoulder. So it's Gabriel Week, and that is the logo. Power to the people, may it be so. Holla at your girl, free Egunfeme, free at untoldrva.com. And while you're asking your questions, I'm just gonna flip through some slides so you can take a picture of the itinerary of Gabriel Week. Where is that? Please, questions, do I need to give my mic to friends?
First of all, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Or comment.
Or comment, anything.
They have a comment.
Yes.
Yes, Mecca.
Can we discuss how it's not so black things really did, even though it's Gabriel, and she explained who Gabriel was. So it's important to American history, not French history. So I would like to see more of you guys out in these minutes.
Did everyone hear that? We can repeat it. All right, not everybody heard it. Can you come on? Do you mind? Do you mind?
Please. Come.
Just speak it. Okay, so you say it first.
Okay. Well, see, the thing is, I absolutely agree. And that's not okay. We're gonna pull the slides up now. So that's Friday. You'll be able to see by the itinerary that it ain't just black folks. This, like I said, who's laughing? I'm incorrigible. Don't forget, do not encourage me. So, but no, I was just saying that Gabriel's whole insurrection was an intersectional one. Please make no mistake, on the Underground Railroad and in the resistance movements that were going on during the years of enslavement, which were from, in Richmond, 1737 was the year that the city was formed, and slavery was ended by black troops riding in from the north and liberating all black people, and nationwide, right here in Richmond. They won't tell you that with the flaggers on Monument Avenue at all, but it was black troops that came and said, okay, it's over, get out of here. So, but I will say this, all of the partners that are in Gabriel Week, there are over 54 of them. And you'll see that it's obviously definitely not a just black thing. Because back in those days, well, actually black people arrived in the the colonies at the time in 1619. So do the math, 1619, 2019, 1619, 2019. Who listens to Bob Marley? Do you guys remember that song, 400 Years? You do? 400 years, whoa, whoa. Remember that song? If you don't know it, we are approaching the 400th year since the first Africans arrived in the North America on what is now known as America. And so we are about to commemorate something in this city, in this nation, in this state, and yay. So, being that fact, I just need you to understand something. When you were black and running away on the Underground Railroad, you certainly were not going to your Aunt Jessie around the corner to hide. You had to go to people that you didn't know the next stop, the next stop, the next stop. The only people that were owning things that wouldn't have been under complete and total suspicion would have been white folks. So the entire Underground Railroad was populated by advocates and allies that were not brown. So don't let them tell you that we don't work it out within ourselves. That's the conspiracy of good people that I was talking about. So be a conductor on the Underground Railroad in Richmond, because there's going to be some things that we need your help on. The best thing I would definitely encourage you to do is this actually works. Come up with a one sheet of like 5 things. I always use the word 5 things. 5 things that you think you have to offer that are not going to totally put you out, but that you think you can offer to underground movements. It didn't work. Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. But can I open that one that was there? It won't? Oh, it's okay. Anyway, so make that 5 things readily available, and then if you meet somebody here or someone that you just kind of want to know, you like the cut of their jib, you're just like, yo, that person looks real dope, I bet you they're doing some awesome stuff. Be like, can I get your email? Literally walk up, can I get your email for a second? They're like, okay. Send them 5 things out of random. Be like, these are the 5 things that I'm willing to help you do. Anytime you need it, let me know. Give me a little lead time because I'm busy, but boom. So you have your things that you have available, your tools, using your influence and your privilege to assist the underground. So that's a definite way to create a conspiracy of good people, to expand it beyond the low-hanging fruit of the folks that are in your immediate circle. Things that can go on that list are like, I can make copies for you. My boss doesn't really count the paper or toner. Just that. I need some copies.
We will get all of the event information up through our socials so you can see all of what's going on with Gabriel Week. Thank you so much, Freddie.
Yes, you're welcome.